Thompson has had a sensational defensive campaign so far in this young season. Through nearly a third of the season, he's showcased his potential to emerge as an all-defensive team-caliber player. While the defensive hype surrounding him is well-deserved, it's important not to overlook his offensive contributions, which have been equally impactful. His growth on both ends of the court demonstrates why he's on the path to becoming a dominant two-way force in the NBA. Today, we'll break down Ammon's numbers and analyze how he's been contributing to the Houston Rockets this season. Let's start with the stats. Ammon is currently averaging 27 minutes per game and putting up 12 points, 7 rebounds, 1 block, and 1 steal per contest. If we adjust these numbers to per 36-minute stats, they rise to approximately 16 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 steals per game. Phenomenal production for a player in just his second season. What makes this even more impressive is his ability to impact games off the bench. So far, he's recorded 5 double-doubles and delivered a standout performance with 4 steals and 4 blocks in a single game. These achievements highlight his ability to affect the game in multiple ways, making him an invaluable asset for the Rockets. These performances have naturally sparked comparisons to established NBA stars. Some analysts see flashes of Kawhi Leonard or Jaylen Brown in Ammon's game, but a more fitting comparison at this stage might be Andre Iguodala. Like Iguodala, Ammon isn't yet a reliable three-point shooter, but possesses a diverse skill set that makes him incredibly valuable. Currently, he's shooting 30% from beyond the arc, well below the league average. Out of his 30 total three-point attempts, 23 have been wide-open shots. This is essentially when the nearest defender is more than 6 feet away from the shooter, and he's converting only 30.4% of those. While these numbers highlight an area of needed improvement, they also underscore his progress. Last season, he shot a mere 17% from 3. The improvement is undeniable, and with continued effort, there's every reason to believe he can develop into a respectable outside shooter. Beyond his three-point shooting, Ammon's offensive game has made remarkable strides. His mid-range scoring has improved significantly, and he's become a dominant force in the paint. To illustrate just how effective he's been, Ammon currently boasts the 3rd highest field goal percentage in the restricted area among non-bigs in the entire NBA. This is no small feat, especially when you consider that his efficiency in this area surpasses notable big men like Ivica Zubac, Nikola Jokic, Karl Anthony Towns, and even his teammate Şengün. While some might assume these stats are padded by dunks, only 32 of his 101 attempts in the restricted area have been dunks. The majority are contested layups, often in transition, showcasing his ability to finish through contact and navigate traffic. Speaking of transition, this is another area where Ammon has truly excelled. He's been an absolute wrecking ball in the open court, ranking in the 75th percentile of all NBA players in transition efficiency. Ammon is currently averaging 1.24 points per possession in transition, a figure that outpaces elite players like Jason Tatum, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Giannis, and Ja Morant. If that's not impressive enough, he also leads the league in effective field goal percentage in transition among players with at least 60 transition possessions this season. His ability to draw fouls in these situations is another standout aspect of his game. He has the highest foul drawing frequency in transition in the entire NBA. This ability to generate easy points and put opponents in foul trouble is a significant advantage for the Rockets. Given Ammon's dominance in transition, it's worth asking how the Rockets can better leverage this strength. Currently ranked 14th in pace, the team has room to play faster and lean into transition opportunities. By increasing their tempo, the Rockets could unlock an entirely new dimension to their offense, amplifying Ammon's impact while creating more scoring opportunities for the team as a whole. While Ammon's offensive growth has been impressive, his defense remains his calling card. Despite being just 21 years old, he's already recognized as one of the best defenders in the league. What sets him apart is his defensive versatility. He can guard multiple positions, from speedy point guards to physical forwards, thanks to his combination of size, athleticism, and instincts. His ability to read plays and anticipate opponents' movements allows him to disrupt offenses effectively. Whether it's picking pockets on the perimeter or contesting shots at the rim, Amon consistently makes life difficult for opposing players. One standout example of his defensive prowess was his aforementioned game with 4 steals and 4 blocks. Performances like this are a testament to his ability to impact the game in ways few players can. His length and quickness make him a terror in passing lanes, while his timing and leaping ability allow him to contest and alter shots at an elite level. He's the type of player who can single-handedly change the momentum of a game with his defensive playmaking. What's particularly impressive about Amon's defense is his discipline. Unlike many young players who rely solely on athleticism, he combines his physical tools with a high basketball IQ. He rarely bites on pump fakes, stays in front of his man, and knows when to help without overcommitting or leaving his assignment exposed. This level of defensive awareness is rare for a player so early in their career, and is a key reason why he's already drawing comparisons to some of the league's top defenders. Offensively, his ability to attack the rim, thrive in transition, and improve his mid-range game provides a strong foundation. If he can refine his three-point shot, he could become a complete offensive player capable of thriving in any situation. For the Rockets, Amon's emergence as a two-way threat is a game-changer. Under head coach Ime Udoka, the team has embraced a defense-first identity, and Amon fits seamlessly into this philosophy. His energy, versatility, and ability to impact both ends of the court make him a cornerstone for the franchise's future. One area of Amon Thompson's defense that doesn't get nearly enough recognition is his exceptional defensive IQ. While most fans tend to fixate on his on-ball defense or jaw-dropping athleticism, what truly separates him on that end of the floor is his ability to read the game at an advanced level, to process plays in real time, anticipate opponents' tendencies, and consistently make the right decisions. It's not just about being an elite on-ball defender, it's his impact off the ball, his positioning, and his instinctual help defense that make him such a game changer. The thing about Amon is he's not out there chasing stats. You won't always see his impact in the box score. He might not lead the league in steals or blocks, but his ability to blow up a possession, force a bad pass, or close out a shooter in the blink of an eye can be just as valuable and often goes unnoticed by casual fans. These are the plays that win games, the small moments that make a massive difference. To really see why Amon's defense is on another level, let's break down a couple of clips that showcase his unique combination of IQ, athleticism, and effort. In the first sequence, we've got a pick and roll between Harrison Barnes and Zach Collins. Fred VanVleet is initially guarding Barnes and does his best to fight over the screen, but it becomes clear he won't recover in time. Comes up empty and takes himself out of the play. Now, here's where most defenders might hesitate or freeze up, but not Amon Thompson. As soon as he recognizes the breakdown, Amon springs into action. He immediately switches on to Barnes without missing a beat and forces a tough pass to Zach Collins. The result? Collins fumbles the catch, the play breaks down, and the possession ends in a turnover. It's not a flashy steal. It's not a highlight reel block, but it's the kind of defensive sequence that defines winning basketball. Amon didn't just react to the play. He read it, processed it, and executed, all in a split second. Now let's check out another clip that highlights a slightly different aspect of Amon's defensive brilliance, his recovery speed and athleticism. This time, Victor Wembanyama catches the ball at the elbow and starts driving toward the rim against Jock Landale. Amon sees the danger unfolding and instinctively leaves his man to help. For a lot of players, this kind of help defense can be risky. Leave your assignment and you might leave an easy kick-out opportunity wide open. But Amon isn't just guessing, he's calculating. As Wembanyama drives, he dishes it to a shooter on the perimeter who's wide open, at least for a split second. Most defenders would be toast here, but Amon's recovery speed is next level. The second the pass leaves Wemby's hands, Amon takes off. He closes the distance with lightning quickness, contests the shot, and forces a miss. What should have been an uncontested three turns into a tough contested jumper, and just like that, Amon saves the possession. That's the beauty of Amon Thompson's defense. It's a mix of preparation, recognition, and physical tools. He doesn't just rely on athleticism, and he doesn't play reckless. Every move is calculated. Every decision is intentional. And when you combine that with his freakish quickness and motor, you get a defender who's capable of changing the game without needing to stuff the stat sheet. Whether it's blowing up a pick and roll, making the right switch, or sprinting back to contest a shooter, Amon's presence on defense is undeniable. Plays like these happen all the time with him. He's constantly disrupting offenses, making smart reads, and providing help when his teammates need it most. For a young player to have this kind of awareness, decision-making, and discipline is rare. Amon Thompson isn't just a good defender. He has the potential to be one of the best defenders in the NBA. He's the guy who's going to make the right play, take the right gamble, and always give you maximum effort. His future as a defensive cornerstone is bright, and if you're not already paying attention to what he's doing on that end of the floor, it's time to start. Because trust me, these are the plays that don't always make the highlight reel, but they win basketball games. Amon Thompson's defensive game has been turning heads all season, but there's one area of his skill set that doesn't get nearly enough love: his elite screen navigation. For any top-tier guard or wing defender, the ability to fight through screens is absolutely critical, and Amon has mastered this skill at a level that's rare, even among seasoned NBA defenders. Now, screen navigation isn't just about effort, it's about intelligence, agility, and split-second decision-making. You've got two main components here: on-ball screen navigation and off-ball screen navigation. Both are essential to shutting down offensive schemes, and Amon Thompson excels at both. Let's break this down, starting with on-ball screen navigation. This is what happens when a defender has to deal with pick and rolls, the bread and butter of NBA offenses. What makes Amon special here is his ability to read the play, react in real time, and make the right call under pressure. He's quick enough to fight over screens, smart enough to go under when necessary, and decisive enough to avoid getting caught in no man's land. Then there's off-ball screen navigation, which might not get as much attention, but is just as crucial, especially against teams running actions to get shooters open. This is where Amon's instincts, anticipation, and footwork shine. It's about staying alert, seeing the play develop, and using positioning to fight through or avoid screens altogether. And make no mistake, this stuff is hard. Navigating multiple screens off ball while keeping track of your man requires a level of focus that not every defender has. Amon does it seamlessly. One play that really illustrates Thompson's screen navigation came during a matchup against the Minnesota Timberwolves. He was tasked with guarding Dante DiVincenzo, a guy who thrives off ball, and the Wolves ran a classic sequence designed to get him free. The first screen came from Nickeil Alexander-Walker, whose job was to create just enough confusion to force a switch or buy DiVincenzo some space. This is a common tactic, especially when guards set screens, because any slight hesitation can give the offense the advantage. But Amon, no hesitation. He stayed tight on DiVincenzo, expertly fighting through the screen like it was nothing. The Timberwolves weren't done, though. Rudy Gobert entered the picture to set a second screen. This time, Amon switched things up. Instead of fighting over, he went under the screen. Why? He knew DiVincenzo wasn't pulling up for a deep three and was more likely to continue cutting toward the ball handler. By going under, Amon put himself in the perfect spot to recover, contest the shot, or shut down any drive to the rim. In the end, DiVincenzo got nothing. No clean look, no driving lane, just frustration, courtesy of Amon Thompson. What's important here is that screen navigation isn't just about physical tools, it's about making smart reads. Thompson's ability to switch between fighting over and going under screens, depending on the situation, is a direct result of his basketball IQ. He's not just reacting, he's anticipating the play before it happens. And here's the thing. This elite screen navigation is just one extension of Amon's incredible defensive instincts, which have been on full display all season. His ability to read offenses, anticipate actions, and make adjustments on the fly is what sets him apart as a defender. To put this into perspective, let's talk numbers. Among all players who've defended at least 100 pick-and-roll possessions this season, Amon Thompson has allowed the third fewest points per possession. The only two players ahead of him are Jaylen Brown and Dillon Brooks, two guys widely considered to be all-defensive caliber defenders. And Amon, he's 21 years old. 21. The fact that he's already performing at this level is insane. What makes him so special as a defender isn't just his athleticism or effort, it's the combination of those physical tools with high-level instincts, quick decision-making, and a motor that doesn't quit. Whether it's pick-and-roll coverage or chasing shooters around off-ball screens, Thompson's screen navigation is elite, and it's a huge reason why he's quickly establishing himself as one of the most impactful young defenders in the NBA. When we talk about rim protection, we immediately think of big men, centers, power forwards, guys like Brook Lopez, Chet Holmgren, and Victor Wembanyama. After all, it's their height, wingspan, and physicality that allow them to dominate as shot blockers. What we don't usually think of are guards or wings stepping into that conversation. But this season, Thompson is completely flipping that narrative on its head. is proving that elite rim protection isn't just about size, it's about timing, anticipation, and having the IQ to see a play before it even happens. And right now, holds the best defensive field goal percentage at the rim among non-bigs in the entire NBA. To put this in perspective, the only players with better rim protection numbers than this year include the league's premier bigs: Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Stewart, Victor Wembanyama, Brook Lopez. That's it. When you realize is standing toe-to-toe with some of the best defensive anchors in the game at just 21 years old, it's absolutely mind-blowing. Now let's break this down. Rim protection shows up in all kinds of scenarios. Isolation drives, rotations as a help defender, you name it. But one possession that really stood out happened against Ja, one of the most explosive rim finishers in the league. Amon's man here is Jay Huff, a 41% three-point shooter this season. So his job is to stay locked on Huff, especially as a strong side defender, but at the same time, Amon clocks what's happening. Ja blows by Fred VanVleet and starts attacking the rim with all the aggression you'd expect. Now, here's the critical moment. Ja pulls off a retreat dribble. Why? Because help is coming from the paint and the left side, and Ja is trying to reset the defense. Jalen Green gets momentarily caught out of position, leaving Amon as the last line of defense. And this is where Amon's poise and IQ come into play. He doesn't panic, he doesn't bite on any fakes. Instead, he watches Ja, reads his body language. Then, just as Ja goes up, Amon times his move to perfection, challenging the shot and forcing the miss. That one play tells you everything about Thompson's defensive toolkit: discipline, timing, and elite anticipation. It's not just about athleticism, it's about reading the play 2 steps ahead and executing when it counts. And if you think that play was a fluke, let's look at another example, this time against Steph Curry. Steph gets by Jabari Smith Jr. and heads straight to the rim. Amon, again, is guarding Draymond Green, a guy who's quietly shooting 38% from 3 this season. But Amon recognizes what's happening. This isn't a pass-first situation anymore. Curry's looking to score. So Amon leaves Draymond just enough to be in position. He doesn't rush, he simply waits for the perfect moment, and as Curry rises up for the layup, bam, he blocks it. This is where Amon separates himself. He's not just relying on raw athleticism or shot-blocking instincts. He's making cerebral reads in real time, showing a defensive IQ well beyond his years. These plays, back-to-back, aren't coincidences. They're patterns. At this point, it's clear. Thompson's rim protection is special. His ability to rotate, read, and time his help defense is right up there with the league's best. And what's crazy? He's just 21 years old. Think about the defenders we praise in the NBA right now: Jaylen Brown, Chet Holmgren, Dillon Brooks, Victor Wembanyama. Amon is already in that conversation, not just as a wing, but as one of the most impactful defenders, period. With every game, Amon is refining his reads, sharpening his instincts, and expanding his defensive repertoire. If he keeps improving at this rate, there's a real possibility we could be talking about Thompson as one of the best all-around defenders the league has ever seen. Of course, he still has a long road ahead, but if this season is any indication, the future is looking very bright for Amon. And trust me, we're going to be here every step of the way, breaking down his development, his highlights, and everything that makes him such a unique talent. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know what you think about Thompson's defense down in the comments. Who do you think he compares to most, and just how high is his ceiling? Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.